Hello guys, here we are. Finally, I'm going to share my views on the Amazon Basics. So I have a box here, a brand new box to unbox, show you what they come like. They come obviously just in a cardboard packaging. It's quite a nice, thick, sturdy box. And then inside you get your tin, which is actually wrapped inside this bubble wrap. I've taken mine out. It's also wrapped inside this foam, so it's not jumping, moving and switching around in there. I like the amount of care that they've taken on what is essentially a really budget set of pencils. It's going to arrive to you as kind of safe as it can do, really, which you know, for the price, I like that they've taken that little bit of care, to be honest, that the pencils arrive whole. It comes in this nice plain silver tin, wrapped in plastic. Excuse me. Sorry for the noise. Right, it's a nice sturdy tin. The lid comes... Hang on. We've got sellotape, the bane of all YouTubers. Let's take that off eventually. So it's got a lid that comes all the way off. It does have it's got sellotape front and back, kind of really keeping that attached. I'm going to pop that piece off as well. I like when they do this. I like when they're not hinged, because you can sit your tray inside the lid. You can use the tray and lid separately, but also what I really like these tins for, I take the plastic trays out because I don't leave my pencils in these, and I use these for putting all my inks onto. I find them really useful, and then I store them in my drawers like that. I love when you can reuse useful packaging. So nice sturdy tin. They've got the little finger grips on the plastic sides, and they work wonderfully well to lift out your 2 trays of pencils. They do have that kind of odd new pencil smell, kind of almost nail varnishy. It's like you can smell the coating that they put on them, but they're not one of those really horrible need to air your pencil box outside kind of smells. They just smell like varnish. So you've got a very plain pencil barrel. Let's refocus onto me, and all it says is Amazon Basics in the middle. It's got the colour, and then right at the end the colour name, which I like because it means it'll stay. I also like that they have imprinted them into the barrel, so it's not just a font on top, it's printed in, so they're not going to just rub off as you use them. Let's refocus on our pencils. It's obviously a very cheap wood. They're a lightweight barrel. They are quite a thick lead. I'm quite impressed. The lead is almost the size of the pencil barrel itself, and from the ones I've had so far, they seem very well centered. Very well centered. They come with that kind of factory squared off point, so you will want to sharpen your pencils before swatching and using, because it will make a difference. That coating will mean that they don't perform very well, and it will give you a very bad first impression. So always sharpen a new pencil before you use it, or you very likely won't like it. So that is the unboxing itself. Let's pop that off to one side, because as you know, I am one of those people that ends up, that was my backup spare to be able to show you guys, because I have had these for a little bit now and I have been using them. They've all been sharpened, they've all been used a little bit. I've got some out for a project that I'm currently working on, and these are already in a case in my collection, part of my rotation. So without further ado, I have the swatch chart I've made for them, I have a colouring I've done with them, and I have my thoughts on these pencils. And I have a few things to say about these. And I think the one I want to start with is the important one. They're a budget pencil. You get 72 pencils. At the time I bought them for £12 something. I think at the moment they're at £16 something. That will fluctuate. If you're watching this review in a year, 2 years from now, it could be anything. But that's what they currently are. And if you pick these babies up in a sale, you'll probably get them for next to nothing. You're getting 72 pencils for a truly budget price. And I mean budget. So they're a really good pick-up. They're a very well-performing pencil for a budget pencil. And this is what we always need to understand. These are not going to work like your Caran d'Ache Luminance because they cost £12. But they're a beautiful, beautiful pencil, and you're going to create really fantastic artwork if you're a little bit patient. My first thing I want to really point out about these is they're nothing like a Prisma. They're a softer pencil, which makes them more akin to a Prisma type of lead, but they do not behave or work like a Prisma. Prismacolor pencils, Holbein pencils and Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils have a very unique, creamy, malleable, soft, movable texture that when you lay them down, you can move them into each other on the page, you can shift them around, and you can kind of create almost an oil pastel movement effect. Most pencils do not do that, and these are no different. You will get really rich, quick, vibrant colour payoff. But you will need to layer them to create blends and shifts from one colour to another. If you just pop a layer of colour down and then you want to add another colour to it and you've already put too much down, you're going to get quickly frustrated and irritated by the fact that they're not going to do what a Prisma does and just create what you want to with the shift. You've got to lightly layer them and create what you want. So they do not blend and shift like Prisma, they work like other pencils do. They're very vibrant, there's a quick nice colour payoff, and they layer beautifully, especially obviously on nicer papers with a better tooth than maybe a cheaper Amazon paper. Although over alcohol marker on the Amazon paper, I've used them and they do work beautifully if you're patient. The pencil barrels, like any budget pencil set, do not represent the colours, and I would advise if you're going to use them often, then maybe creating any kind of swatch sheet so you can actually see what the colours will truly look like, or just swatching them off when you're going to use them. They hold their points quite well for a softer pencil. You will have to sharpen them more than, a Poly or a Brute Funa, but nothing like you do a Prisma or a Lumi. And they were enjoyable to work with. And when you come down to adult colouring and the whole point of the hobby, it is very important, and so it does go into my reviews that I enjoyed the pages I created with these. I enjoyed working with them, and I didn't feel like it was a chore or hard work. I think they created a beautiful colour range. They're a 72 set, so they've less to work with than the 120. For a budget brand, I do think they got their paler colours quite well. Obviously, you could always do with a paler blue, but none of these sets do that. Even the more expensive ones, I always recommend having a pastel macaroon colouring set to go with your main range that you're using, just to really pad them out. As always, some of the darker colours, they struggled a little bit. It's hard to truly get the dark green that you want, and the dark blue that you want, they actually did quite well with this. I do like the purple ranges that they've added. I do feel like maybe a couple of the colours are a little bit close. I do like that they didn't go quite as mental as a lot of them do with their yellows. So that's quite nice to see. And you've got a couple of very nice kind of peachy, creamy blender colours to use with your trios as well. I love this mauvey colour here, and this claret colour that they've got, along with this royal looking purple here, is absolutely stunning. You are getting a few greys without too many. Obviously it's a smaller set, so there's only so many they can add. I really am always disappointed when they have metallic pencils, because I don't like them, but a lot of people do. So if you're one that does, you get the gold and silver. They've got a very nice rich black, and they have added a deep grey to it, so this is a really nice black. The white, it's a budget white, you're not really going to use it for anything. I would always recommend swapping that out with a Prisma or a Lumi white, or even a Holbein, and that will turn this into a completely different set that really will move and work and blend a little bit better. I prefer a pale toned colour to a blender pencil, or blending spirits or anything like that. I find just having a light colour will create exactly what I want, and then going back in again with the darker tone. For your darker tones, you will maybe need to use your grey and black a little bit, but I really didn't struggle too much, and I found the colours that I did have, created what I needed. I do think they did quite well for their colour range, to be honest. I didn't look and think, I immediately really wish they'd have had this or that. I always appreciate the kind of tealy, turquoisey, jade colours that they add in as well. And that they've put in a really light toned grey is nice, and a warm grey. So apart from that, they're not particularly dusty. They don't have too much of a wax bloom, which is nice. I didn't get any breakage, other than what you'd expect. Like, I've dropped a pencil, shouldn't have done that. Which is nice, especially for a budget set. So if you are experiencing breakage, it's either maybe an incompatible sharpener, or you might have a bad batch, and I'm sure if you speak to Amazon, they would investigate and sort that for you. So that is the colours and my thoughts on the set. I'm assuming this is enough without me going through the colour names and what they are for you guys, that you can see the colours themselves and what you've got. So I'm going to pop that off to one side, and I will show you what I managed to create with them. I gave it a fair shout. I did it on Amazon paper because that's what a lot of you have. And to compare, I did a Prismacolor background. So I did this really fun page from one of my Matchstick Mouse books. So the background is Prisma, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure I'd want to do a background in pencil with these. I can barely be bothered with a Prisma. But other than a little bit of gel pen on the centre of the flower and some yellow acrylic paint pen to go around the edges of those flower petals in the background, I've used a yellow-brown mix for these sunflower petals, the green three-tone mix here for the greenery in the back. I used two greys, I believe, or maybe three, knowing me it was three, probably, I'm a bit extra, on my mouse, a brown and a pink on this worm here, and a set of brighter pinks. This was a trio as well, 3 sets of pink on the hat. And I absolutely love this page. I adore how it turned out, and I enjoyed creating even the repetitive nature of that flower. Didn't feel like an horrendous chore. But as you can see from what I mean, you will get a layer and a build up and a texture of colour. They're not going to move. So you can see the edges a little bit where my colours met. Now I just turned that into the texture that I wanted, whereas a Prisma you would have been able to shift and smooth that into each other. You have to just keep it you know, quite light where one colour meets another, and accept that you're going to get more of a colour shift and not a kind of a mould into. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I added a little bit of black glitter onto his little wings there, and then I've laid down the Prisma background just to compare, so that you can see that you can really create whatever you want with either set of pencils. I do love these books. They're so fun, and just so interesting to work in for something that won't take me years and years to lay down. It's nice to be able to use them for new pencils as well, to kind of play and practice for these reviews. So yeah, I am currently working in my Enchanted Faces book. I might have actually completed. I definitely know I've used them in here as well. Tend to always do that once I've got a little stack of pencils. So all the blue of her outfit clothes and tail are Amazon Basic as well. So yeah, I've been having fun with these. I can't for the life of me remember what else I've done. I think she was Color, so I don't think her hair is Amazon Basic. I think it's the Color pencils. She's Holbein. But yeah, will I use them again? Yes. Would I purchase them again for a price similar to what I bought them? Most certainly. I already have my backup. They've already gone into a pencil case so that I can easily add them into my rotation and usage. Would I recommend them? Yes, most certainly. For those that just want a budget set of pencils to have a go at adult colouring, to make a try, that don't already have 5 sets of pencils, because let's be honest guys, if you already have a couple of sets of pencils, you don't need to buy other pencils. They're not going to, a budget set of pencils isn't going to add anything to your repertoire that you don't already have. So yeah, would I recommend these for someone that needs some pencils, that's just starting out, that wants to use Amazon paper, wants to use something that will work nicely on Amazon paper, and has a little bit of patience to kind of layer their pencils up? Yes, most certainly I would recommend these to you guys. I hope this has been useful in some respect. If I've left you with more questions than answers, do pop them in the comments down below. I'm always happy to try and help with any anything that you are wondering about. You can pop them in the comments below, you can Instagram me, you can email me. Anything you need to ask is, as always, very welcome. Apart from that guys, happy crafting, amazing week, have a wonderful time in whatever you're doing. Please give me a thumbs up if this video was useful, it helps my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.